Hey, what's going on? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Another week, another week. Wanted to reiterate last week. I said, I'm my new frequency is going to be once a week on Sunday. I grew up doing devotions on Sunday. I think this is probably the best way to do it for me. I went to, originally I wanted to do one monthly video, and I was like, man, this is fun. This is cool. I like it. I'm getting more comfortable. So I started doing it almost every day. Um, and this is my routine, right? Like, as much as I try to do my devotions in the morning. I go work out, read, get my work done. Have things that I got going on, administrative, right? Take care of stuff and then call people I love and stuff. And I make a list of things that I like to work on throughout the day. And this has become part of it. And so I decided, to be more efficient, let me just do once a week, right? And once a week could carry us over. Last week we talked about the right reward, right? Which is like having a relationship with other folks in God where you're doing things out of love, right? Having relationship and doing things out of love as opposed to like doing things because you know you're gonna get something back. Um, I'm curious to see what the devotion is going to be for this week, but that really did carry me over. There's a lot of instances in where I had to be selfless, and I don't know if you guys have those experiences from the devotions, but this past week was very consistent for me. Just making sure that in my relationships that I do genuine heartfelt things for other people despite whether they give me anything or not. So let's see what they got for us today. I'm curious. And I hope you guys are still having a good year so far. I hope we ain't messed it up. Okay. Oh my God. These devotions, I feel like so you know how God talks to you in mysterious ways? Yeah, this is not really mysterious. He's really coming for me. All right, so true love is the title of devotion, true love. So now faith, hope, and love abide, these three, but the greatest of these is love. 1 Corinthians 13, verse 13. All right, so let's get started. Let's see what the devotion has to say. The title of the devotion, again, is True Love. Yeah, true love. And then a lot of us, I feel everyone is looking for, true love. I know I speak to a lot of folks, I myself. We want true love, and that necessarily means, your wife, but definitely true intimacy, true connection, true vibe, good. I mean, good everything. But that's what my mind is. Good everything. That's not realistic. But let's see what it says. I'm curious. I'm curious. True love. I literally was praying about this. This is the reason why I'm laughing. I've been praying about this for a long time. So human beings crave love. When a woman's soul has been wounded, that craving for love often takes one of two forms. Okay. Some women develop hard or harsh personalities so other people will not want to get close to them. If the wounds in their souls are related to men, they may make firm decisions not to trust men or not to build relationships with men at all. Other women may be excessive in their desires to have a man in their life, to the point that they are willing to enter into a relationship with any man who pays attention to them. Perhaps you know women like this. Women who seem to go from one unhealthy relationship to another. Why are they focusing on women? I'm reading this devotion. I am not the person that talks about what women do or don't, especially on screen. So I'm reading this, and then I'll definitely give my take on the men's side. Maybe you have been done. Maybe you have even done it yourself. You keep thinking the next man is in your life will finally be the right one, only to find yourself disappointed. Okay. All right. So here's my take, and I think this devotion is, it seems like it's going in a direction of pointing their understanding on women. Let me put my understanding on men, in particular myself. I'm a man. When it comes to romantic engagement, like, I feel that it's the same scenario. It's we could build insecurities in ways that really shut not only the people that we were in relationships with off, but we could also shut off new people because we're dealing with so much that has happened from the past. It may be that, right? And then you got to have some self-awareness. Like, I was just having a conversation not too long ago where I told someone, I was like, man, you might be letting your insecurities block you from connecting. And you got to figure that out. And I think we all go through strife, whether it's a romantic relationship or another kind of relationship. If there's something that hinders you from connecting with other people, you need to fix it, because we can't go about life by ourselves. And that's my honest opinion, man or woman. And so how do we fix whatever it is that has happened? How do you get comfortable with the hurt that has happened and move forward? I don't personally believe in the take a year break, the 5 year break. Life, I don't feel like life works like that. Do what you need to do to kind of get the resources to fix it, whether it's an advice conversation from someone that you respect and love, or if it's like some therapy to get some advice on how to navigate those feelings, how to understand it, how to navigate the I guess sometimes it comes with stigma, right? Like, depending on what it is that you're upset about, how do you deal with that so that you can connect with another person? Or with, if you feel, go back to the person that you were with. I am not like shy about telling people how I feel. But I often find that what we have to do is figure out when things are not going well, again, man or woman, how we communicate it to make sure that everybody understands what needs to get done to make things better. And I think that is a good approach. So that's my take from this first paragraph. Let's continue and see what they say here. When a woman has a string of relationships that never satisfy her, two things are usually true. Oh my God. One, she has not yet found her fulfillment in God alone. And two, she has not yet learned what real love is. In order to stop the cycle of craving love, seeking it from a man, and being disappointed, a woman's soul needs to be healed. Part of that healing involves first receiving God's unconditional love and then understanding what it really means to love and be loved by another person. I would say that's for a man too. Make sure your relationship with God is strong, right? Whatever it is that you believe in. I mean, I'm not sure what folks believe in, but I believe in God, right? Like, I believe in Him kind of navigating my life. When I have like an intimate thing that's going on, I talk to God about it. I tell him to all the specifics, all the details, right? I get it out and I feel like talking it out actually helps me heal, right? And then just making sure, outside of your problems, what relationship do you have with God? Like, are you coming to God with problems? This is a problems relationship, a give me relationship, right? Where you just talk to God when you need Him to give you something? Or is it like a constant, like, check in? Hey, I'm doing good. Thank you for this. A little be graceful. You know what I mean? Like, be nice. Hey, I'm not asking for anything. Just wanted to say thank you for waking me up. Something like that. Like, that kind of a relationship, man. You change the tone of your life. It could change the tone of your life. Real talk. All right, so I want to share some things I hope will help you in your love relationships with other people. Only God can love us perfectly. That's real. But 1 Corinthians 13, which is called the love chapter, it really is, of the Bible, helps us understand what real love is. If someone says, I love you, but isn't demonstrating the attributes of love in this chapter, you might want to think twice before believing that person and going very far in a relationship. Uh, you know, this is a heavy one. This is a heavy one because I think sometimes we create our own definitions of love in our minds, and if we don't get that definition in our mind, we tend to go somewhere else. Um, and I'm not gonna say that that's wrong, but I do believe that that 1 Corinthians kind of love. I feel like it covers everything. And let me see if I can pull it up. That 1 Corinthians love is deep. It's let's see, 1 Corinthians 13. 1 Corinthians 13. Let's see if we could pull up. Let's see. All right. I think it's 4 through 7. All right, so this is the summarized version. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. That's the level of love that God is seeking us to have, especially in our romantic relationship. So, first things first, making sure that you heal, right? And honestly, that could take on a specific type of journey where you look for special advice, professional, or mentors or older brothers, sisters, whatever, mom, dad, whatever it is. Look for the information that helps you heal. Build your relationship with God. I would say definitely build your relationship with God. If you don't have a relationship with God, because that godly relationship that you have, it kind of helps with some of the stuff you got going on outside of it. And I don't know about you. If I could have a healthy relationship with God, I think that's a good starting point for the relationships we have with men and women in our lives, despite what kind of relationship it is. All right, so love is something that can be sent, that can be seen and felt. It is displayed in a variety of ways when you are trying to decide whether someone loves you, and whether you love that person. You can use the qualities mentioned in 1 Corinthians 13 as a guide. Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, that sort of thing. Um, that's very true. Now let's see what it says. I think this is a good devotion, right? I think if you're biblical and a believer, right, this could be a good guide for you. It says that love is patient, kind, not envious, not boastful, and not arrogant or rude. It also does not demand its own way, and it's not irritable. It's not irritable. I'm trying to click here. Let's see. All right. Having or showing a tendency to be easily annoyed. It is not. It also does not demand its own way and is not irritable. It does not harbor resentment. Whew. Jeez, that's the R word. That's the R word right there. Love does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love helps others, it gives, and it is quick to forgive. This requires intentionality and saying no to self regularly. Man, I'm going to be honest. If I were to use this, if you were to use this guide to see if all the love you had in your life was actually love, if you use this guide to say, do I love this person? Do I love this person? Do I, man, this is some heavy stuff, man. It's some heavy stuff. And honestly, even if you find that you do not love, all it takes is for you to change your heart and your mind about it. Intentionality. This requires intentionality and saying no to self regularly. I mean, obviously take God with you, but if you feel like this person is the right person in your heart, but you just can't find a way to love on them, you're going to have to be intentional. There's a way fitness works, right? And this is why I like to put all of these things together. Fitness for me is, I like, people think I love it. I do. I don't love going through it. I don't love going to the gym and for an hour, working out and sweating and aching my bones and all kinds of stuff, lifting heavy weight. It's hard. It's not like it's not easy all the time. But I dedicate myself. I wake up, I gotta go. I gotta go to the gym. I gotta go do this. I gotta do that. Not every day I do it, but most days I'm trying to do some workout. Same thing with relations, man. If you don't work out, you're not gonna get fit. I don't care how much you love looking at gym stuff online. I don't care how much you talk about fitness. For you to change your body, you're gonna have to be intentional. You gotta show up. You can't fake it. You can't fake fitness and health. Nope. Nah. You can't fake it. I would say you can't fake love. You can't fake romance. You can't fake it. You got to show up. You got to be intentional. Or else these things that God gives us as a guide for what love is, you're just going to be lying to yourself and other people about how much you do or don't love them. If you don't see yourself trying to be intentional about being patient, being kind, not envying, okay? Boastful, not being arrogant or rude, man, you got to be intentional. You got to show up to the gym. You got to show up to the gym. It's hard. It's hard. But your person is your person, right? Humility goes a long way. And I think a lot of us got egos out the park. We got egos like nothing else. But if you work on that stuff, you could have a good relationship, a loving relationship. The devotion title, True Love. All right, so the basics of love in 1 Corinthians 13 gives us plenty to think about when we consider whether we love someone else and whether they love us. Remember, only God can love you perfectly. Other human beings will let us down, but when we know what true love looks like, we can be wise in our relationships. All right? Other human beings will let us down, but when we know what true love looks like, we can be wise in our relationships. I have a constant battle about who's showing me true love, and I fortunately for me, I've seen it, I've felt it on many different occasions, but you got to to talk to God about a lot of things, especially with me. I can't say that I've always loved truly in my life. There are people I loved one point in time, and then it just went away, and then I had to be intentional of getting it back. It's work. It's work. It's no. It's not like you press a button and it stays down. Like, no, you're gonna have to keep pressing the button. All right, let me put some love. It's like an ingredient, right? You put it into a recipe, a little love, you know. But not every time you cook, you have your ingredients. Sometimes we run out of love, right? You got to go to the grocery store and buy it and bring it back home. Hey, here's more. You got to do it. Got to be intentional, you know? And thank God it doesn't run out. Imagine if it did. Somebody does us wrong one time and we just, yeah. So, figure that out. Figure that out. I think this is a very good guide. This is a good devotion, I think, in many ways, because it talks about what we could use as a gauge for where we are, right? Like if you feel like you're trying to connect with somebody and these things are not happening, then you're gonna have to reconsider. Are you trying to be intentional about them? Are they trying to be intentional about you? Even though it doesn't exist, I personally believe that love goes, but it can come back. But you just gotta be intentional. If you're being intentional, he's being intentional, little by little, you'll see it grow. You'll see it grow, And sometimes it may go back down, and then you gotta be intentional again, right? Same thing with the gym. Sometimes you get that month that January, February, March, everybody's in the gym working out, benching, dumbbell, the whole 9 yards, and then you die off. And then it's like you spend another month not doing anything. You know what? Today I'm gonna do it. And then you go back and show that love. Go in. That's how it works. That's how it works. All right. So the basic qualities of love and work gives us plenty to think about. Consider other human beings are good. Yeah, I think we read that part already. And then the last sentence, other human beings will let us down, but when we know what true love looks like, we can be wise in our relationships. And I think at the very least, have a conversation about that. I actually feel like I got an idea from this that I'm probably going to use in my personal life. This is very, very good. Prayer of the day. Father, I am so thankful that you love me and that you have given me an ability to love others. Let your love flow through me today in ways that will be a blessing to others. Continue to show me what real love looks like and give me wisdom in all my relationships. Amen. Guys, I think this is probably one of the longest ones that I've had in a while. But I think it's very important, especially because right now the tonality of relationships is big. It's a lot of criticisms on both men and women. I actually found it very funny that they only had tilted this to kind of talk about how women experience true love and not how men experience true love on our side. So I tried to give a standpoint from a man's perspective on this, and hopefully it adds some type of color on how to navigate, how to understand what you got going on, and how to move forward. Just because you don't have love today with the person doesn't mean that you won't have love tomorrow. You just got to be intentional. You got to show up and take God with you. Know thyself. Take God with you, and then be intentional about doing this 1 Corinthians thing. We got a guide. You got to use it. It's hard. It's definitely hard. I'm not going to say it's easy. True love is not easy. It takes effort, right? And not only to get it, but to maintain it too. So, take that with you. And I hope God blesses you in your love experiences. All right? Take care, and I'll talk to y'all next week.